What's up you guys? Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to talk about diet a little bit. People always ask me, how do you stay organized with your diet? How do you afford to eat so well? How do you find the time to meal prep? I'm going to answer all those questions in this video. First of all, I'm going to show you how I food shop and show you what I got. So I've just done an order from MuscleFood, which is an online kind of grocery store. They specialize in like fresh meats and products aimed towards those into fitness and into healthy lifestyle. So I'm currently 5 weeks out from a competition, so my order is a little bit basic. Normally when I'm not on prep, I would order their marinated meat or their lean burger selection. They do burgers that are filled with like different cheeses and stuff and they're so good. Or even things like their protein pizzas and things. But because I'm on prep, this order is a bit more plain. So I got some chicken breast. This is 2.5 kilos of chicken and this cost £19. Some salmon fillets. I love these salmon fillets because they are huge and they are so good. They taste so fresh and just high quality. So this is just over a kilo of salmon and this is £15. Some cod fillets. Again, I love these just because they're so big and they taste so fresh. This is again a kilo of cod and this was £13.50. Now this is probably my favorite thing about the website, and these are their cartoned egg whites. This is a kilo of egg whites. You get 6 cartons of these in a pack for £22. I don't know how many of you already buy egg whites, but if you were to buy the equivalent from like a major supermarket, it would cost you at least 36, if not more. I did the maths. These come frozen, so you can just put them straight in your freezer or have one defrosted, and it's so much easier than like separating all of your eggs yourself. Egg whites are known as the best quality protein source in the world. Not just the quality of the actual protein itself, but your body's ability to use it too. So this is my number one. I also got some cashew nuts, and finally I got some Walden farm sauces. So this is the caramel sauce. I actually use this on my eggs. So I make my eggs into kind of like a pancake or like a sweet omelet with some like sugar-free flavor drops, and then I top it with this caramel sauce and it's so good. And I also got the Walden Farms hickory smoked barbecue sauce. So both these sauces are 0 calories, 0 fat, 0 sugar, everything like that. So they are the ultimate prep hack. So when I get this order, I tend to separate it into like what I'm going to use immediately and what I want to freeze, if anything. I probably won't freeze any of this because I eat like 6 times a day and a lot of my diet is meat right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cook the whole lot and I'm going to put it into tabs and we'll go from there. I also have quite a lot of friends that come around and I'll like end up feeding them and stuff, so it always goes a lot faster than I think it's gonna. One thing I will say though is if you're freezing chicken breasts or like salmon fillets and stuff, is separate them, put them into like freezer bags and freeze them separately so that they don't freeze together, because then it's really hard to separate them when they're like frozen and stuck together. Okay, so meal prep done. That's literally all I do. I just cook everything in bulk and then I have it ready to take from. I don't really do any cooking at all through the week. People always ask me like, how do you have time? How do you have time to go to the shops this often? If I order it from MuscleFood, then that takes me like 5 minutes and then they bring it to your door and it's all ready to go. So that saves me like a full shopping trip. And then I'll cook it like that in bulk. Even if you won't eat it all, you can either freeze it to cook or you can cook it all in bulk and then freeze it cooked so that it can just be defrosted and eaten. I do that sometimes as well. So there are loads of ways to manage your time better, and if that is your excuse for having a poor diet, like think about all these things that I've said and see if you can make some changes to maximize your time. I would highly recommend MuscleFood, especially for meats, because I find that a lot of supermarket meats are very watery, and when I cook chicken breasts from some supermarkets, like they kind of shrink, whereas I don't find that with MuscleFood. I feel like you're getting more like high quality meat and it's really good value as well. And definitely check out their marinated meats and their melt in the middle burgers. They are my absolute favorite thing, but right now I'm not having things like cheese, so I'm just sticking to very plain foods. But once I'm done with my competition, I will definitely be eating those foods again. It's not that they are bad for you, it's just that on prep I'm extremely precise with my food. There's not be any extras like that. So now I'm going to show you a selection of meals that I have made from this meal prep and to show you the food that I eat when I'm on competition prep. So this meal here is 100 grams of salmon fillet with 3 egg whites, and this is a breakfast meal for me. So I'm just spraying the pan with some pan spray, and then I'm going to throw in the egg whites and the salmon fillet that I've already mixed together. I'm going to be having it with some spinach, so I'm just going to put it on a plate and then pop it in the microwave for like 20-30 seconds just to wilt it. Meanwhile, just giving the salmon and eggs a little bit of a stir. This balsamic dressing by Tesco Healthy Living is only 11 calories per tablespoon. Finally, I'm just going to fry up some samphire, which is my favorite vegetable, guys. It's so good. If you haven't had it, you have to try it. And then I'm just going to chuck that on top with some black pepper as well. This next meal is a chicken and avocado salad. So I've got some organic salad leaves here and some piccolo cherry tomatoes. I cut them into quarters so that it feels like I've got more. I'm then going to take 35 grams of avocado and just chop that into chunks, and then tip on 150 grams of the chicken breast that I cooked earlier, sprinkle of black pepper, and then topped with the same balsamic dressing as before. Just a tablespoon is enough. And our third meal option is a kind of chicken stir fry, but with the lowest calorie content bit. I'm going to start by frying some onions and adding in just a couple of slices of courgette. Then I'm going to chuck in 150 grams of the chicken breast I cooked before. I'm just going to chuck in a pack of this tender stem broccoli into the microwave. Oh, and I forgot to do the mushrooms. I would normally do these along with the onions and the courgette, but I completely forgot. So I sliced them super thin so that they would cook really fast. Adding in a bit of black pepper and then just chucking in a ton of spinach and just stirring it until it all combines like this. My fat source for this meal is pecan nuts, so I'm just going to measure out 15 grams of pecan nuts and I'm just popping them on the side. You can crumble them and put them through to give it some crunch, but I just love them so much that I want to have them on their own. My other massive diet hack that saves my life are these low-calorie sauces and syrups and things that I showed you. I also use calorie-free flavor drops, and I put them in my coffee, I put them in my egg mixes before I make like a pancake sort of thing, and it just adds so much flavor to food without adding any calories, and that's really, really helpful on prep. That is one thing that prep food lacks, is flavor, so that is a huge hack for me. That caramel syrup from Walden Farms is definitely my favorite right now as well, and that's available on MuscleFoods. And I also like the one that's just called pancake. That is a bit more like kind of normal syrup that you'd buy. Right now I'm loving that caramel one because I think the flavor is just so dense. So yeah, those are a couple of things that help get me through prep. If you have any other diet hacks, then let me know. I'm always looking for new ways to kind of make food a little bit more interesting and help to curb any cravings and things like that. Alright you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you have any requests for videos in the future, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!